Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. This is the English translation of the MAJLIS of Hazrat MAULANA QAMAR Sahib Damat Barakatuhum, which took place on Wednesday morning at about 9:30 a.m. at Baitul Azkar in Wasiabad, Allahabad, UP, India. Wednesday, the 11th of Jumadul Akhirah, corresponding with the English date 4th of January 2023. Hazrat Wala starts off this majlis by quoting the hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, "Ad-du'a'u mukhul ibadah." Thereafter, Hazrat Wala goes on to say that there was a Bedouin, and regarding his dua, I have read this hadith out to you. We had a discussion on it in the past as well, but we will have repetition and we will go over it again. A Bedouin, Dihati, Villager, ordinary, simple person. But such a dua he makes, which is alimana, arifana, it is filled with knowledge and the recognition of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And what can we say more than this here? A Sahabi is a Sahabi. He is greater than the greatest Wali, Buzruk, Ghaus, Qutub, whatever it is, because it is the barakat of the sohbat of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the companionship of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Sohbat बहुत बड़ी चीज़ है. Sohbat is a great wealth, is something very, very unique and great. The Sahaba were not called Zakir or Haji or this or that or the other. Just study this one point, that a Sahabi is called a Sahabi. They were labeled and branded by that particular name because that was the utmost greatest quality that they had possessed. It was so great that everybody then thereafter who would come until the day of Qiyamah would be inferior to them. They would reign superior, Sahabi, because they had the sohbat and the companionship of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Somebody passed a remark and they said that when you're cleaning out the flour and you have these pieces, the chaff and the pieces that come out. So someone made that remark. It's like choker and bosi, these pieces and this and that. And then the Sahabi stands up and he says, how can you say that? The Sahaba, all of them are khalis ma'da, meaning they are the original, they are the genuine. All of them are like that. Who are you? You haven't even seen Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. There was a person, Buzruk. Whenever he would come, then people would come and they would kiss his hands. And what was all of this respect all about? They said that no, you seen certain Buzruk. Now here, also the same thing. The Sahaba seen Rasulullah sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wasallam in the state of Iman. Now, we don't have that type of status of Sahabiyat. However, we have the ta'limat, the teachings that the Sahaba brought to us of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam. I've written much and in abundance regarding the Sahaba in my kitab. Ibn Mas'ud radiyallahu ta'ala an says that if any person wants to adopt any path, then he has no choice other than adopting the path of the Sahaba, because they were the most deep when it came to knowledge. And then he continues enumerating the different beautiful qualities and characteristics of the Sahaba. From the dua of the Sahabi, you will have some type of an estimation that how great they were and what type of level they had reached. This deen, all in all of it is why? So that we can recognize Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We can recognize Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam. We can recognize the Sahaba. Taraku awtanahum. They abandoned their native place. They had to make hijrat. They made that sacrifice and this sacrifice. Allah Ta'ala bless us with the recognition of the Sahaba. Give us the tawfiq and the hidayat of making qadr of them, appreciating them and honoring them, having azmat for them. So sohbat, bahut bari cheez hai. Sohbat is something very, very great. Now, this was an ordinary Bedouin, a simple Sahabi. However, when you study this dua, you will understand how much of recognition of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala he possessed. He was a Dihati Sahabi, a Bedouin Sahabi. However, after Nubuwat, what is the position there? After Nubuwat, it is the position of Sahabiyat in the Ummah. The rank comes that of the Sahaba. They are the highest. Sahaba had achieved those eyes that seen Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam in Iman, and those hands which made musafaha with Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Honoring the Sahaba is part from our imaniyat and that which we believe in. And these days, what's it about? Someone is defaming Ali radiyallahu ta'ala and someone else is defaming Muawiyah radiyallahu ta'ala, and then too you would find someone else still defaming Uthman radiyallahu ta'ala. Hold your tongue and be cautious with your pen. You are still asking, in fact ulama even speak about this here. They make kalam on why did the Sahaba go to battle with one another? Why did they go to battle with one another? These are very, very delicate things. مَا يَلْفِظُ مِنْ قَوْلٍ إِلَّا لَدَيْهِ رَقِيبٌ عَتِيدٌ. He does not utter a word except that there is a stern person who is recording there, the angel of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, watchman, guard, raqib. So let's continue and let us quote from this year, then we will be able to understand. عن أنس رضي الله تعالى عنه أن رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم مر بأعرابي وهو يدعو في صلاته وهو يقول. Hazrat Anas رضي الله تعالى narrates that Rasulullah صلى الله عليه وسلم passed by a Bedouin who was making the following dua in his salah. He says, وهو يقول, what was he saying? Ya man la tarahul uyun, O the one whom the eyes cannot behold. Allahu Akbar. Wala tukhalituhu dhunun, the minds cannot imagine. Wala yasifuhu wasifun, who cannot be described by the most adept. Wala tughayyiruhu al-hawadith, whom no conditions can alter. Wala yakhshad dawair, and who does not fear any calamity. Ya'lamu mathaqil al-jibal wa makayil al-bihar wa adada qatr al-amtar wa adada waraq al-ashjar wa adada ma adlama alayhi al-layl wa ashraqa alayhi al-nahar. Allahu Akbar. He knows the weight of the mountains and the amount of water in the oceans, the number of raindrops, the number of leaves on trees, whatever is darkened by the night, and all that is brightened by the day. No portion of the sky is hidden from him, no section of the earth nothing in the depths of the ocean, nor anything in the clefts of the mountains. لا تواري منه سماء سماء ولا أرض أرضا ولا بحر ما في قعره ولا جبل ما في وعره. اجعل, and then he comes to the portion of the dua. So no portion of the sky is hidden from him, no section of the earth, nor any section of the earth, nothing in the depths of the ocean, nor anything in the clefts of the mountain. Oh my Allah. Now after praising Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala so much, he then comes to that portion of the dua. You know, this is sohbat. What can we say? We're speaking about the Sahabi who is a Bedouin, but he had achieved so much of the ma'rifat of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Waki, what can I tell you? By going and sitting by the Buzrugan-e-Din, what and what is achieved. I was in Delhi and I went to Hazrat Maulana Abrahul Haq Sahab, telling him, meaning now I was now going to return and come back to Allahabad. So I said to him, Hazrat, मैं जा रहा हूँ. So I said to him, Hazrat, I'm leaving now, I'm going. So he said, जाइए, लेकिन वहाँ जाने का की ख्याल रखिए. He says, okay, go, you may go, but listen, keep in your mind about going there as well. Allahu Akbar, referring to that of the Akhirat. What type of nasihat Hazrat Wala is saying that this great man, Hazrat Maulana Shah Abrahul Haq, gave us, and how we benefited from him tremendously. You know, on one occasion, when I went to Gujarat, Hazrat Wala is saying, initially, then people started coming to me and said that, Hazrat, I want to take bayat to you and this and that. So I went to the Muhtamim Sahib and I said, listen, what's happening here? I came to run a khanqa. I didn't come here to make people murid, etc. So he's saying, Hazrat, this is part and parcel of the package. You must do that. Nevertheless, I wrote a letter to Hazrat Maulana Abrahul Haq Sahib telling him about the same thing. Now, what should I do? And then, look at this. What type of an answer does he give? He says, Apni islah ke khayal rakhte hue murid kar liya karo. That while having a severe, have a check on yourself. Have the islah of yourself in mind first, and then together with that you may make people murid. On one occasion I said that, Hazrat, our people there said this year and that there regarding some students or maybe some murids to Maulana Abrahul Haq Sahib. And then what did he say? He scolded and he said, what is the meaning of that? Sheikh ke samne? In front of a sheikh? What is the meaning of that? Allahu Akbar. On one occasion, I said to Hazrat Abrahul Haq Sahib, I went to him and I said that, Hazrat, I want to become bay'at to you. And then he said, Are, what is the need and why would you want to become bay'at? Kya zarurat hai? What is the need? And I said that, Hazrat, I perceive a great need, that's why I want to. Nevertheless, he said, no, there is no need for you, you don't need to take bay'at. What can we say about the istighna and the independence of these great personalities? Now Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless us with the tawfiq and the hidayat of making amal on the ta'limat of these Buzrugan-e-Din. They were muwahid, most definitely. They always had the tawheed of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the oneness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in their hearts. On one occasion, we admitted Hazrat Maulana Muhammad Ahmad Sahib into hospital, and then a person came. You know how these people come, customary. And what did he say? He came there and he said that, Hazrat, if there's any need, then you must tell me. But you know, let me tell you this here. Many of these people say this like that, and at that time if you say yes, there's a need, the person is insulted, he's embarrassed, he doesn't know where to put his face, and he's not prepared to give anything anyway. Nevertheless, he goes on to say that up till now, apni zarurat ki izhar kisi se to nahi kiya. Up till now, I never made apparent my needs to anyone other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. However, if some sincere person comes about offering me some type of gift, then most definitely I accept it. Now, this Bedouin Sahabi rather I would say, Hazrat Wala is saying, had such ma'rifat, rather, he opened up such doors of ma'rifat for us when we read this dua of his, which Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam liked. In this dua, we're speaking about the droplets of water in the ocean. Only Allah knows that, and how heavy the mountains are, and the trees, the number of the leaves on the trees. Now, even science hasn't been able to do this up till today. And we know, we understand that no leaf separates from the branch of a tree except that it has become negligent of the remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It is then that the ruh of that particular leaf is snatched and it falls down to the ground. Now from this entire dua we also learn that he praises Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala so much first, and then he asks for what he asks Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So we learn from this, first praise should come. When a person stands in front of a king, what does he do? He sings the praises. He says ash'ar in the madah and in the praise of that king. Thereafter he gets a gift, he gets some present, then he says nothing. He doesn't even say a thanks. He picks up his things and he runs. But now look at the dua that he now makes. He says the dua, he comes to the dua, اجعل خير عمري آخره وخير عملي خواتيمه وخير أيامي يوم ألقاك فيه. That, O Allah, O my Allah, make the last portion of my life the best. Allahu Akbar. Now didn't we come back to this Tawheed again? And this is why we make so much of mashq of this Tawheed and the La ilaha illallah, so that it can come to benefit for us in our last moments before we leave the world. And, O Allah, make my the last portion of my life the best when I pass away. The best portion of my actions and my a'mal, the end of it, the last action and amal of mine must be the best. And my best day, the day when I meet you. You know, I must have told you people, this young Egyptian Misri alim was giving this bayan, and he says, tell me, oh you people, what is your best day? If I had to ask you what's the best day of your life, you would go on to say that the best day of my life is the day that I got married, the day when it was my wedding, this, that and the other. But the Sahabi says, the best day of my life was the day when my maghfirat was made and Allah Ta'ala announced my maghfirat, that He had pardoned me and He had forgiven me. Allahu Akbar. You know, I was sitting there and I used to make dhikr, etc. And then people used to then come and call me. So then I used to say to the people, listen, don't come and disturb me, because now I'm speaking to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I'm speaking to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I'm communicating with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I'm making His zikr. Yes, what you can do, you can come and sit next to me, and then when I notice you there, I will turn my attention to you. Then you may say whatever you need to say to me. So even this news had reached Maulana Abrar al-Haq Sahab, you know, and this is farq maratib. We need to know maratib, that now I am talking to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and then it is the place for this year, and then it is the position of this, that and the other. In this year was also nothing other than Tawheed. Nothing other than Tawheed. So Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam then blessed him with, made dua for him and blessed him with gold nuggets as a prize. So we understand also from some minds, gold came to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam as a gift, but it didn't just stay there. Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam spent it and gave it out. Allahu Akbar. I just want to go through that last portion again, which the Sahabi asked Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for. Ij'al khayra umri akhirahu. Oh my Allah, make the last portion of my life the best. Wa khayra amali khawatimahu, the best portion of my a'mal, the end of it. And wa khayra ayyami yawma alqaka fi, and the best day, the day when I meet you. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us the tawfiq and the hidayat of making amal. ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم وتب علينا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم بحرمة سيد النبي الكريم صلى الله عليه وسلم.